Everyone ready to roll?
Yeah.
Okay. Ow.
I make a motion to start the meeting.
Okay.
We do that or we start?
I don't think we do that.
We don't start.
No, we don't do that to
Oh, we
start the
don't?
meeting, but you're gonna have to do that to
For the
approve the agenda.
Okay, here we go.
So we're starting the meeting at 6:30. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda? James?
Yeah, I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Yep. Second.
Thank you. All in favor of
Aye.
approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. Public input. Hello, public. How is it going? Are you two usual people? But you guys usually have some input. So what do you got tonight?
I'm a council meeting, so
I know, but
nothing's agenda per se.
Okay.
okay. Nothing to say about. All right. Fine. Oh. Okay, so we have upcoming events. This last Sunday there's the social market, and apparently they go every Sunday for the month of September.
Yes.
Okay. Um, and then October 25th, there's a community Halloween festivities. Where's that?
Right now, we're looking at seeing if the school would possibly want to host some of their haunted house and carnival at Crash Hall as a partnership. And if not, then we may have activities at the school and then follow it up with a Halloween dance and our annual trick or treat that we normally do.
Oh, cool.
So we're just trying to look to put it in one spot.
Yes, what's the trigger?
This is where we have the trick or treat stations, normally fire stations, city hall, the school, here at Crash Hall, down at the footbridge, and then any of the businesses that want to hand out candy, we'll provide them a bag or two of candy. And that's from 4 to 6 normally, because then the school has their carnival following right after that. And we thought it would be nice to roll from their carnival into a dance for the kids that Friday. We're hoping it works out. So.
Okay, sounds nice. And then you're gonna have an adult skate on the actual Halloween night.
Yeah, that'll be a costume party adult skate with our normal DJ. And we'll try to have our food truck there.
Nice.
Yeah. And that's 18 and up.
Do you know how much you charge for that?
$15, although right now in a recession, I've been thinking we might change to 10. It's something I want to talk with the commission about as we move into pricing. With
You want to
our
talk about that
economy right
now or
later?
later? Okay.
What kind of a turnout do you get for
In the summer, turnouts generally fall, and I think looking at trends with COVID, people were excited, especially in 2022, to get back out and start socializing again. 2023 was a fairly strong year, and I think now we're kind of seeing our numbers go back up from summertime where things have been fairly consistent, but we're hoping to have that surge again where we have lines out the door, it seems exclusive or like that's a place everyone wants to be. And we're hoping to be that place again this year, but I think affordability is going to be a huge aspect as where we're at in our economy right. We just don't have the same type of money to blow per weekend entertainment.
But it seems like students would want to come to that.
Yeah,
So
I mean-
that admission price is out of dates?
it does. For the adult skate, and 15 we've been told is kind of a weird amount. Because you have to normally go get a 20 and a 10 or that type of thing with two people if they go out on a date or something. So handing somebody over a 20 seems easier from the feedback that we've received. It's $10 versus 15.
Yeah.
If that makes
Skate
sense.
rentals normally.
Right now it's $5 if you have skates, $2 more, 7 in total with that rental. And then adult skate, we have that additional fee. It was 15 to cover the DJ.
Is there a contest that they could win?
We've done a costume contest for the Halloween one again. We've found some people liked the theme concessions, which is what I was doing a lot in 2022 and 23, where they would get something with their adult
Oh.
skate.
Oh yeah.
So we're seeing maybe that might be something to go back to,
Okay.
but I'd like your feedback too, if you have any.
I'm always interested in how the balance sheet works out. I mean, if you're spending 500 on a DJ and
Mm-hmm.
your staff is costing you 300 for the night or whatever, how many people do you have to bring in at what price point to break even
Absolutely.
and that kind of thing. So I think I think you need to have those baseline figures
Mm-hmm.
where you can decide, you take a guess at how many people are going to come to pay to join.
Mm-hmm.
And then, can you afford to drop the price? And if you can, if you're going to drop it to 10, charge $2 for skates,
Mm-hmm.
what are you going to do to get people in the door?
Absolutely.
And, because if you're not going to break even or do better,
Yeah. I think we've talked about too, kind of lowering the admission price as a loss leader, perhaps to 10 for an adult night and trying to get them to spend more on food or novelty.
Mm-hmm.
And adults are picky about what they buy, but figuring out exactly what experience people are looking for. We've noticed another trend is people being more sober. So we think that might be a great place for us to open and think about offering Italian sodas and other types of beverages that people may be interested that aren't drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Is the concessions in the skate rink the option? Is that open during skate now?
It is open. We just had the health department come and do a preliminary walkthrough and give us some feedback to take in consideration for our final inspection, where they come and really put the magnifying glass down. But they had some really great tips and gave us the handbook to follow. So we're just waiting for the checklist from them.
And what kind of foods are you going to be serving out of there?
That we're waiting for the checklist to see. We're not
Okay.
quite sure.
Okay.
They want some statistics on our hood and the CFM, the airflow for our hood, to see exactly what is allowed at Crash Hall or whether we'll need additional ventilation.
Hmm.
So that's where we're at right now with that facility, the kitchen wise.
so you can't cook there yet.
No, we can't cook anything. We can do minimal prep. So the candy, the sodas, it sounded like hot dogs and nachos were fine. Um, but preparing and labeling ingredients and storing those properly and making sure our ducks are in a row using the actual stove and everything is the
Yeah.
gray area right now.
Yeah.
It feels like we're almost there though, because the list didn't seem long compared to when we first had them in during Trevor's time about a few years ago.
So if the stove is up and running, you would like do burgers or something like that?
No, think more baked potatoes,
Okay.
minimal preparation baking. So if
Okay.
someone wanted to go in there or roll breakfast burritos, that's where I think it would more lay.
Mhm.
No grease frying,
That's good.
deep frying.
Yeah. Plus, we don't really have the staff to do.
No, we don't. We do have the cruising kitchen who's interested in talking about taking over a portion of the more hefty foods.
Mm.
So offering like a chicken strip basket,
Oh,
grilled
really?
cheese basket, but that she has her own food truck there and seems pretty flexible on serving hours.
Uh-huh. Cool. Is that the one that parks in the front?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the teal and black truck.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Any other questions about the upcoming events? All right. Um, let's approve the minutes. Seems like we should have done that before this, but
Okay, I motion to approve the minutes.
I second that.
okay. All in favor of approving the minutes for July?
Could I make a note though, for one thing? I did notice the people that were here when I was looking through. I wanted to correct that. I didn't see names of who was here or not here. But I know these are minutes that I did. So
Oh, here we are.
I
It
know
was
perhaps with
It was the
It was
three of us, and it was Chris wasn't here.
Chris was not here.
oh,
Yeah.
Jeff was though.
Yeah.
And then the public, I thought it was Elise and Anne.
And was
Julie
was Julie there?
Julie
Yeah,
was here.
Julie
she was there.
Christie.
and
Yeah.
Ken was too, wasn't
And
he?
Kent,
Ken Swasky. Was that meeting?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Julie, okay. Awesome. With that considered, if the minutes look okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, so all in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
I,
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes unanimously. Okay, bike park update. I walked by it yesterday. Looks great.
Yeah, so it's taken shape. It sounds like Mandy had designed some Canva stuff with me to pump out, and we did get some business sponsorships. So now we're just trying to backpedal and get people their sweatshirts and look at the flag banner to get ordered and everything. But from when I talked to her earlier and kind of asked where were the donations specifically going to go for the bike park, materials, fuel, equipment rentals, and that the labor was donated, and we got a bunch of soil donated recently to finish the hills of the bike park.
Cool.
And the RCMBA's Enduro is coming this weekend, so that'll be super exciting down on Taylor Way. They're going to be camping starting Friday through Sunday. So they are going to have some fundraising there with the bike park as well.
I noticed a shower out there and the
Yeah,
sink. I was like, what's going on?
they're getting ready.
They have a race up in
Yeah.
the hills?
We're
Okay.
expecting about 400 people, it said on their permit.
Oh, wow.
So we've tried to let people know. And then I had Austin, our coordinator, call our businesses. So the brewery, Becky at BLT, Honeycomb, and try to see if they want to offer any bike specials like $1 off beer or whatever, to make a welcome sheet for people to have when they come pick up on Friday with the tear offs on the bottom. Encourage them to meander through Blue Lake a little bit while they're
Nice.
here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is
So
Bill planning on being open for that?
for pre-orders, to my understanding,
Okay.
I know Darcy's going to offer some stuff. I haven't heard any official deals from him yet, but I assume pre-orders. The brewery's in. I think Becky's in too. There's one other. The Cruising Kitchen's going to have some meal specials as well.
And the honeycomb?
I've not heard from Honeycomb yet, but I know we reached out.
What's Becky? What does she do?
The R&B Auto, but also has a gift shop in there
Oh, yeah.
for people.
Okay.
And Blue Heron, I believe, is into
Oh, yeah.
it too.
Okay.
We tried to hit anyone that kind of had a retail spot open.
Got you.
Oh, the jewels.
Is their only fall enduro thing? This is like the event.
They have one in the summer. In June, I believe, is the Youth Enduro, and that one's around June 9th or 10th-ish. And then they have their fall one every year.
This is big.
This is the big one, yeah.
Are the jewels going to be open for that?
I'm hoping. I know they were taking a little break, but they should be back from their trip.
Okay, cool. Looks like the bike park is coming along. Any other things to ask about the bike park? All right. Drop-in program update and discussion.
Austin and I have been thinking of expanding our calendar. Here is Arcata's, for example. They have a very good variety of programming from the Tiny Tot stuff to the senior programming and everything in between. We thought of the community Skillshare program or series of classes. For example, Arcata's hosting a chocolatier class right now for 4 consecutive series. And we have our fly fishing, which is awesome. But we thought, yeah, it was our first time dabbling in, and we had a good turnout so far. And I think we're coming on our 3rd class.
Oh, awesome.
So we really wanted to expand these offerings, and we have hired a new playgroup facilitator named Liesel. She runs Arcata Playgroup and possibly one other one, but she does toddler yoga, or mommy and me yoga. So we thought things like that might be great to add to our calendar regularly to diversify our options and what we have. And we did ask the kids before camp ended what types of things they would want to see from that demographic. I can
Sure.
name what they have: technology, horse riding, horse care, karate, ballet, makeup, toy making, sewing, wood shop, science, basketball, knitting, art class, aerial silks, gymnastics, cooking, book club, yoga, and line dancing.
Nice.
So they had a good amount
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
ideas, but I wanted to toss it out and see what the commission thought. And Eureka has a community survey we were going to not copy, but take inspiration from and perhaps shorten it a little bit to identify some of this and combine it with Kent's survey that he had
Okay.
out there. So if there's any feedback, I'd love to hear.
So on the classes, you look for like local blue lickers to volunteer to teach the classes.
Yeah, Blue Lake would be great to start here and see who knows what skill. I know I'd heard someone had a kiln that needed a home, and then in return, they would possibly offer us to use it, or they could
Hmm.
fire it, and we could have clay classes.
Oh, wow.
So partnerships like that would make a lot of sense for us. We'd love to expand pickleball or things that already seem to have a good turnout and a strong support behind it already.
Where would the classes most likely be?
Either at Prash Hall, in the park, depending on what type, but also utilizing our horse arena and our courts more.
Okay.
And we do have some money set aside, talking with Scott, our budget guy. But for facility improvements, it's small amounts, but just touch ups to help add a little more pizzazz to each of our facilities, whether it's chip paint or re-landscaping. Um, so that would be perhaps a nice project too to see as we offer these classes, how could we improve these spaces too to be more
So
enjoyable.
currently, what is offered for drop-in?
Right now we have adult and youth drop-in basketball, we have pickleball, play group, and the fly fishing here and there.
Okay. And on the basketball, is that adult?
We have adult
Oh, you
basketball.
said adult and kid.
Yeah, we have the youth drop-in, which is a little more unstructured, and that's where I've found I'd prefer maybe more structure as the park director because an open gym for kids is kind of a free for all. So,
Probably putting skates on and trying to play basketball.
yeah. But this calendar too seemed like a great way for people to monthly see what's going on regularly. And I thought working with Elise and our designer, trying to get this into our website somehow so
Yeah, that'd be
people can
nice.
find it.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
It looks like
Yeah.
Google, but I'm not quite sure, or Outlook, Microsoft Office made.
Right.
Yeah. And if that list comes true, the children's brainstorms, having some sort of an equestrian program would be outstanding. You'd be the only Parks and Rec probably in California that could offer something like that.
That would be
Tina would
super
teach
cool.
all the classes.
Right. We need someone with a few horses and some certification.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Someone had mentioned FFA too, or some blue like variation of an FFA, uh, which was awesome. So wanted to plant the seed in the commission and see if there was any suggestions before I put that out to the community and see what people would like as well.
For people, does somebody have to be certified or have certain kinds of insurance? Not to
Yeah, yes, it just depends. So I'm certified therapeutic riding instructor through PATH and also it's also through CHA. So when you have these certifications, then the equi insurance companies are more likely to insure you because you need insurance as an individual. And then we give us, a certificate of insurance COI to the city, so we're covered. But that would be a great program for somebody to run here.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to talk more and see about how to get the ball rolling on the equestrian activities because it showed up here a few different times
No.
between riding and horse care and farm FFA stuff. I think it'd be lovely. But that's what I got. On the other note, too, Arcata, I found from 2021 is the most recent, but it's an annual report specifically for Parks and Recreation. But I thought it had some really great, specifically with the numbers, like Elise mentioned, knowing what your programs are costing you and how much you're really bringing in. They really were able to break it down well. And I'd love for our department to really get nitty gritty with the numbers. And if something's not working, fix
Right.
it. Yeah. But if anyone's interested,
We're
I'd
not
love
here to make
to
money,
share. I know.
right?
We are to. I would love for the Parks and Rec to not take as much of the general funds budget as it does. I'd love for it to make money for the city. Um, but I thought Arcada's was really well done. I was looking for a more recent one, but I'd love to move in this direction as well.
Cool.
Be able to offer this too for people who are interested in our facilities or investing in Blue Lake.
Yeah.
It's nice to have the numbers there.
Yeah. Do they have a program that
Yeah.
spit that out for them probably?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And they break down their different camps and drop-in
Mhm.
programs, and it's
Yeah.
really eye-opening to see what things break even, what things lose money, and what
Huh.
things make a lot of money.
Wow.
But if
Interesting.
anyone's interested, I'd love to share this packet later for you to take a peek and
Okay.
work towards this for Blue Lake.
Uh-huh. Okay. Thank you, Emily. Anything else? Drop in?
That's what I got.
All right. What about roller skating on there?
Roller skating, we're currently painting some parts of the rink to add headings. For example, arcade, concessions, skate counter, a big welcome to Blue Lake.
Hmm.
But being a little more visual with what we offer at the roller rink, and then starting to put up officially these posters for our party packages.
Oh, neat.
Um,
Oh, you have different party packages?
we have different party packages, and I think finding the right numbers of what it would cost to have most of these are concessions, and
Oh,
goodie bag type of stuff,
okay.
but what it would cost to add on to your private or public party and the different levels of that.
Mm-hmm.
So breaking down the costs, I'm not sure always what a reasonable markup would be because sometimes the price does get pretty high. But right now, we're thinking in general, our standard 2 hour party, not including anything private over there, is $200. So for an extra 2, 4, 6 pizzas, for example, how much more would somebody be willing to pay to not have to bring it?
Yeah. Hmm.
And that it might be asking people or testing different prices and seeing if they are getting booked or not. We haven't
Do you know
advertised it
where
yet.
the pizza's coming from?
We were thinking Costco, although we
Oh,
don't
okay.
offer the frozen
I see.
take and bakes anymore. We were looking to keep it local, but that'd still be about $20 a pizza. And
Yeah.
we've talked with different people, so that wholesale price would be important to keep our costs low. And I've done some of the math workups here of what a party would cost us with a equivalent $9.95 pizza from Costco.
Oh, okay.
But figuring out the markup, I think, is
Yeah, because
where
you definitely want to mark it up. You don't want to do all that work and just break even. They can go get their own
yeah,
pizza if you're breaking even.
yeah. And I had a 250% markup, but then I'm wondering, for 2 pizzas and time in the VIP room is $120 too much? I don't know.
More than 200
That would be
extra?
for a public party,
Oh,
just for our mini rink space. But for example, for that same party private, it would be 250.
mm,
So for $50 more, is it really worth our time to
Right.
do
yeah.
all that?
Okay. Um, and then what are the goodie bags? What are they like? Is that another option?
It is. We've gotten some advertisements from roller skate companies, I would presume, where it has the party packages. So per person, it's 50 cents, for example, and it includes a dessert plate, a dinner plate for the pizza, a themed napkin, and a themed cup.
Oh,
And normally it's about 50 to 80 cents per person if you want to get really pizzazzed with it.
okay.
But equating that all into the scenario two or the utilities to cook the pizza,
Right.
I've kind of been like, how nitty gritty do we get here? And the staff cost too, whether it's a private party that's really 3 hours long versus for at a public session, maybe letting someone have that private mini rink for an hour.
Okay.
Where's the mini rink?
It's that smaller space at the end of the carpeted entryway when you go in near the men's restroom,
It's where the concessions used to be.
where it used to be when we first started. And that was the idea, was to make that into a themed party room
Hmm.
that would feel special to be in or more exclusive.
Oh,
That's what most rinks have done from what
like
I've
it's
seen.
closed off.
It's
and,
closed off and exclusive.
right.
You write their name and what age they're
Yeah.
turning, and that's the direction I'd love for us to go.
Mhm.
But figuring out for the numbers to make sense has been a bit of the complicated part.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
The next meeting, would it be possible to maybe do a field trip over there?
Yeah.
That way you can just like all of us just walk us through and point out like this is what we want to do here, this is what we want to do there, this is what the concessions are going to be like. That way everyone is familiar with the facility.
That would be lovely if
Yeah.
everyone's open to that.
I think that once the rain stops and parents who have kids before they burn some of those out,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna never be the places to have birthday parties and they're not home many places they want. So getting out and birthday party.
We definitely would love to. We've seen a little spike as the fall has started with people calling to get their parties booked in
Mm.
the winter time
Yeah.
between us and the bowling alley and the movie theater. We'd love to be a primary choice when people think about their children's birthday parties.
Yeah. And there's only one bowling alley left.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Ours, so sad. Yeah. Yeah.
In group packages, this has been our skate calendar. We've noticed Saturdays more adults attend, but having group rates or inviting businesses as like an appreciation for your staff package. You know, you get 20 staff and this stuff.
Oh, okay.
Reaching out to different groups would be awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. That's a lot, but we're trying to take what's worked and expand on it a bit more.
Hey, any questions about the skating program? All right. Moving on. Announcements.
There's a Blue Lake Safety Fair coming up, sponsored by the Resource Center and Blue Lake Fire, and it looks like they'll have about 25 vendors or so, and they'll have a helicopter landing here.
Oh.
Going to be quite the event, I've heard. This is next Saturday, September 14th. It has complicated our wood bat schedule a little bit. Also supposed to be starting next Saturday, so if Jessica is okay with it, we're hoping to have games starting at 3 p.m. for wood bat, moving in, and it should be a smaller league due to the fall. So we're hoping to start wood bat after the safety fair.
And the safety fair.
Safety fair is 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Where's this at?
I don't know. It hasn't been.
This for
It's the first I heard beyond it being on the calendar in there, but they asked me to come bring some maps of the park today and told me the helicopter was coming.
So who told you that?
I know it's the resource center. I'm not sure exactly who's planning it. Maybe it's also CERT. But
So I'm hoping CERT's involved, but it's the Public Safety Commission.
Yes.
Okay.
It kind of started as a Public Safety Commission, and then we're partnering with the Resource Center because the Resource Center used to do a fair.
Mm-hmm.
So it's but yeah, we got to get the word out. So that's a big deal.
I was thinking that's a lot of vendors coming and some really great county and local resources, but the flyer's pertinent to get out soon. So I also had not heard.
So do we know who's in charge? I guess.
I would say right now Molly would probably be the best contact. It's who I was communicating the information for the rental for.
Molly posted the flyer on her Facebook page about 7 hours ago.
Okay.
contacting the local radio station.
Who's Molly?
Molly works here for the resource center,
Oh, okay.
but they may be able to do a PSA with it being a community service thing.
Do you have a link to the radio?
I have Eureka Radio we could do, but KJNY is the other one that I'm thinking of. PSA at kjny.net.
So do you have somebody you communicate with for those kinds of things?
I do, but I wasn't involved in planning this event.
So if somebody asked you to do it, could you do that part of it?
I could do the radio part
Uh-huh.
for Eureka Radio. I don't know KJNY's
Okay.
posts.
So you don't ever actually use KJNY yourself?
No, I couldn't tell you what station it is. I've just sent to the emails because I've heard over and over on the radio to send public service announcements to that. And they'll do it for free if it's a community beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
You can look pretty if you want to know. I know it's a dog. So,
99.3. Is that KJNY? I know it's hard to know
Big
which
Red.
one. Oh, okay. That one is Eureka Radio, Big Red. But I could talk to Colin about getting a PSA recorded for that to run possibly next week if they have any spots.
Yeah, I'm looking at the post right here.
99.1.
So that's Molly putting that out there.
We'll share it on our posting page. Cool. Hey, I saw their vendor list was beefy, so
Wow.
Nice.
I was super impressed. So that's all the announcement I have for that.
Okay. Any other announcements? Bettina has an announcement.
I do. I have two.
Oh, all right.
Announcement number one. The Saddle Club did a little bit of fundraising over the summer, and we brainstormed things that we'd like to do at the arena. And one thing is making a bulletin board that is waterproof.
Yeah.
So we have one up there completely disintegrated in the winter. So that's just one of the things we'd like to do. So if anyone has any ideas, we buy little prizes for our events, for our participants with the fundraised money and stuff like that, and do little things. Replace the gate when it needs to be replaced, just things like that. And then thing two, somebody in the last week was talking to me about the Annie and Mary Rail Trail, and they live in Glendale, and they were interested in talking about it going that way instead of along the highway. And then since then, I talked to another person who lives in Glendale, and they were interested in that. So
I thought it was supposed
I
to go.
contacted. No, it's slated to go along either side of the highway right
Oh.
now, I think. And so, anyway, I contacted somebody to contact the folks in Glendale because that was good information.
I think part of the problem is that the railroad right away has been abandoned across the Christie Ranch.
Yeah.
And they don't want to necessarily open up their ranch to traffic. A way to get from Blue Lake to Glendale,
Yeah.
other than down high.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, just to let you know, it's been put back up the chain, and there are some people who've had some shifts over there and are interested in talking about possibilities. I think because,
Interesting.
like through here, it's like a sidewalk through town, and then you can get your bikes and the kids and everybody safely transported, and they're, with all the mandates for non-motorized vehicle transportation, the safety, the connectedness, and the accessibility. It's great. It's great to have that coming through town, and I think they're just interested in talking about something like that.
Nice. And these are homeowners in Glendale on the road. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So we'll see.
That's
Okay.
intriguing.
Yeah. That's it. Check.
Anybody else? Announcement?
I don't have.
Do I have one? No. Okay, so future agenda items, community survey findings. Is that the survey that we did at the
One with Kent, but
Kent?
then also coming back and sharing the drop-in stuff as well.
Oh, okay.
So how many responses have you gotten from that?
Kent had about 15 to 20, I would say, that were filled out and had good comments on the back.
Oh, yeah.
Now compiling it into a master surveys has been a lot of numbers for
Yeah.
me personally. But the comments have been great too.
Okay, and those were all returned the day of Indian married, or they were just distributed and returned later?
He came back to the chamber tent towards the end of the day with them. But he had gotten a good portion of tabling done for quite a few hours that people come by. And then I just sifted out all the blank ones.
So do you think that the number and the quality of those surveys are something to work with, or they're just too few?
That's debatable. It seemed those that did fill out the survey took time to fill it out in its entirety. I didn't see any where they filled a few numbers in and said screw the rest, which was great. And I didn't, from what I glanced at him, I didn't see all ones, or everything sucks type of thing.
Mm.
But people had some great suggestions to where I did want to sit down and actually work with the data a little bit. For those that cared to stop by, there might be some valuable stuff in there, especially the written comments on the back. Things like graffiti, having that type of reporting seemed like a big one that I saw, or dog bags was the two main comments, which is stuff we could use with our Sierra carriers. They have QR codes, to my understanding, that with an app will alert staff of things like that. There's technology out there that we could look to get that into Blue Lake.
Maybe worth the next time there's a survey like that, to have the tablets, also available. Because you can do it like in Google Forms, they can do the survey and then that spits it out in one spreadsheet. So that you don't have to sit and go through it.
Yeah.
That was my thought with the drop-in, sharing it online would be a Google form link. The paper one at City Hall, they want that. But it would be super helpful to have it auto
Yeah.
totaled. Yeah.
And winter programming?
Cheris is working on trying to set up the next community dinner. She's our events coordinator. So she's talking with Haywans and is gonna see if we can do something similar to last year, have some live entertainment all in with another event
Oh, cool.
for the winter time. And there was some great suggestions last year. Programming around the tree when we light the tree and how that could be improved with a script and other song cues to have people do the choir and have everything actually go according to plan. So we're hoping to have a little more structure this year, especially with our new town square coming.
Will there be a tree at Town Square?
Yeah, to my understanding, yes. We get it from Green Diamond every year, and they've made a hole, or I was told they would make a hole for it in the concrete for
Oh.
the stump.
Huh.
Fingers crossed.
Supposed to be electric, they light it up.
Mm-hmm. That would be great too. The generators have been loud.
Yeah.
And heavy.
That's, yeah. Okay, anything else with winter?
No,
Okay.
that's about it.
And Friends of the Park?
Figured
Is
I'd
gonna be on the next agenda?
bring that back
Mhm.
when maybe Chris is feeling better.
Okay.
It was it him and you that were in
Yeah.
the ad hoc.
Mm-hmm.
So there'll be the story, the horse story tour.
The Winter Wonderland, yes.
Coming up
So,
first week of October.
And then our next meeting is October 2nd. That's a Wednesday, I hope. Okay. Anything else for good of the order? I'll know what I mean. All right. So can we have a motion to adjourn
A
at
motion to adjourn.
7:10?
Second that.
James and Tina. And all in favor to adjourn, say aye, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. 3-0.